folks, welcome back to Nebraska. It's a late season coyote hunt. We're in north central Nebraska, the Sandhill country. We're gonna have a couple special guests with us this morning. My two boys. We got my oldest Creighton, middle son Carver. You know, we are hunting late season, so I'm gonna be using a lot of howls on stands, but a lot of times you can get a coyote just to howl back. It's almost like turkey hunting, where you can get that coyote to howl back and you know exactly where he is. And that's really one of the toughest parts when you're hunting coyotes, is setting up where there's a coyote there to call in. And if you know they're there ahead of time, it really can pay off for you. So all I do here is I'm just gonna go down here on the Revolution remote, and there's a whole folder here full of howls. I'm just gonna do a simple, just lone howl here, maybe let 3 or 4 howls out and see if we get an answer. If we don't get an answer, we're gonna move down the road maybe a mile, do it again. If we do get an answer, I'm gonna see if we can get in on that coyote and make a stand on him. This is about an ideal situation. I hate to get the horse in front of the cart, but we have a north wind and those coyotes are actually howling on the north side of this road right up this valley. There's at least 2 coyotes howling, which is a perfect situation. So we're gonna slip up here, gonna find us a place to hide the vehicle. We're gonna walk in and if it all works out, we'll call in these coyotes. By putting the call off to the side, the coyote's focus will be basically off to our right instead of back to the left where we're gonna be sitting. And hopefully they won't pick us out as quickly and we'll get a good shot at them. Good? Yeah, okay. So Carver, that'll be your left half, okay? That coyote comes in over that hill right there. Anything in this draw, let's orientate you a little bit here this way, because it's easier for you to swing back to the left, right? All right, be ready, be ready. I'm gonna switch the sound up here. It might circle downwind here. Oh, there he goes right here, heading to the right. Woo! 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 Watch him eating. Yeah, he'll die on there, die on the run. Things happen fast. We shot that coyote in about the first 2 minutes of the stand, played a series of sounds. I thought, you know, after about 14 minutes, I think we're good. If we wouldn't have had any coyotes come in, we probably would have stayed here a little longer, but let's get up and get the blood flowing. Cool thing is about it, that coyote died about 250 yards up this draw. We'll just walk back and get the truck and we'll just drive, and we're heading that way anyway. We'll just pick that coyote up on our way through.
Less than a minute, we had 2 coyotes popped up on the hill, and my dad called them with some lone female howls, and so they must have saw us. So they ran over the hill, and then Dad played like a rabbit sound. Like one of them came running right side of the hill, crossed the trail road, popped out, stopped, and Dad shot him.
You know, one of the major keys to coyote hunting is getting into your stand without the coyote knowing you're there, and ideally, you're wanting to set up as close as you can to that coyote. And on this setup, that's exactly what happened. These coyotes weren't more than probably 200 to 300 yards up this draw. And the reason I know that is because they responded really quick. Within about a minute to a minute and a half of the howls, they were right at that hilltop there, about 150 yards. So you know they couldn't have covered that much ground. So they were close. So when you're getting out of the truck, you're not slamming doors, you're not making a lot of noise, you're slipping in tight and quiet and getting in here without these coyotes knowing. If you can do that, you'll kill a lot more coyotes, I'll guarantee it. Ah, hey, there he is, boys. Let's go take a look at him. Not a very old coyote, you know, he's a good-sized male, but by the looks of his teeth, these front teeth are worn down a little bit, so he's probably a, you know, not this year's pup, but the year before's pup, so maybe a year and a half, 2-year-old coyote. He was with at least one other coyote. There may have been 3 coyotes when they popped up on that hill. after that quick series of howls, and Creighton spotted them straight out. I was actually still on the remote messing around a little bit. It happened really quick. I think they were close enough when they popped that hill, they saw us. You know, coyotes have super keen eyesight. They'll catch any little bit of movement, and I think that's what happened, and they bailed back off the hill, and I switched to one of these fights, and this coyote looped back around and gave us a shot. We never did see any of the other coyotes after that, but nonetheless, just not an ideal specimen by any means, but it's a coyote in the truck. You know, the future of our sport depends on the youth, and it's one of those things, we got to get the kids out there. You got to make it interesting. You got to make it fun for them. Luckily for these boys, they've seen lots of coyotes come running to the call. They've shot a lot of coyotes, which has made it fun for them. You know, coyote hunting might not be your thing for your kids, but get them out there, shoot some squirrels, rabbits, birds, geese, whatever it may be. You know, our sport, our heritage depends on it. Get those kids out there.
You know, the great thing about this revolution is the power of the remote, the transmission capabilities. On these stands where I feel like I'm kind of exposed, I don't mind walking that call out here 50, 60, 70 yards and getting it kind of out in front of us. So when these coyotes come in over the top and come down into this bowl right here, they're really focused out here and not on us back up on the hillside. Hey, Carver, look at those. See how those deer are looking that way? Just keep an eye out over there. A lot of times those deer will give a coyote away. See them spooking? They're spooking back over the hill now. They may just be spooked because of the call, but just keep an eye out over there, all right? Bro, Carver, right on that skyline, right on the skyline there. Don't move. Don't move. Don't move. Let him come off. Okay, here he comes down that hill. Hey, when he gets into that little low spot, go ahead and move your gun and get it set up just right. Okay, there he goes. Go ahead and get your gun moved. Get it moved a little bit. There you go, right there. Okay, just be patient here. Be patient. Let him come around that corner.
You know, I think coyotes lose interest, and if for some reason that coyote didn't want to come into that sound, there's no sense in sitting there quiet for 3 or 4 minutes before I switch sounds. I'm going to roll right into that next sound. If he likes it, he's going to come. If he doesn't like that one, you know, he may be leaving, then I'll roll into the next sound 4 or 5 minutes later.
All right, we've been on Lucky Pecker now for about 8 minutes. We howled to start. I'm going to roll over to a little bit more aggressive fight sound here. It's a new sound we're testing out of Rick's. All right, here he comes. Here he comes. Whoa, 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 don't move. Be careful. Here he comes. Slow. If you're good, Carver, use it slow. Nice shot.
You know, I absolutely love hunting coyotes, and when I was able to introduce my boys to this same sport that I love so much and watch them develop passion for it, it's been truly probably the most rewarding experience I've ever been part of.
Right up, hey, no, don't move. Right up in the shadow. Let me fire the call back up and see what he does here. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. He's gonna come right down the chute, Creighton. We're gonna kill him right in the bottom, all right? Let him come all the way down. Just follow him. Don't move. Don't move. No. Creighton's gonna shoot. Do not. You watch him die in the scope, all right? Don't move. Don't move. Okay, you ready, Creighton? There he goes. Let me try to get him on the run.
Well, we finally got him recovered, huh? We ended up getting a double on this stand. As you saw from the footage, the first one came in maybe about the 12-minute mark, something like that. Carver made a great shot on him.
We were actually shutting down the stand about the 18, 19 minute mark, and it's almost dead calm. There's only about a 3-4 mile an hour wind. And I always like to sit there quiet, maybe have the call on just maybe volume 4 to 6 for those last couple minutes of the stand, just to let things wind down a little bit, let any last coyotes that's maybe making his approach show himself. And sure enough, this pretty little female shows up on the hillside about 280 yards. And all I had to do was turn the call back up, and she made a break, and she came right down the hill. And unfortunately, we had a little valuable coyote hunting lesson there, but we ended up getting it killed nonetheless. So kind of a unique, this big male that came in, you don't see this very much, but his face, you know, somebody look at that and think that's mange, but that's actually, this coyote's been fighting. And he he took a beat down right there from obviously another male coyote. You know, it is breeding season. These coyotes are real territorial right now. And obviously he'd been in a scuffle here recently, so he was coming to another one, and it will be his last one. Hey, what'd I tell you? If you're gonna be a good coyote hunter,
Short memory.
you gotta have a short memory, right? We miss coyotes all the time, but guess what? If you think about that, you're probably gonna miss another one. But if you let it fade out of your memory, you're gonna kill the next one. All right, buddy, shake it off. Let's go get some more.